from the early days, as Victoria explained, we came for family. Our parents also built their own. The African dream was to build and have your own home in Ghana. In my early 20s, we realised there was a nightlife scene. Ghana had incredible clubs, nighttime enjoyment. Friends would come and enjoy the beaches, and it was a place where the second generation Ghanaian diaspora were coming back to literally have a good time. We all want to belong somewhere, and I think two things are happening. People are investing because they want to have a footprint back in Ghana and realise that they can have an investment footprint even though they're not ready to live here yet. I think it's incredible, and we see it as a personal passion and calling for us that everyone should be able to do this.
Yeah.
Especially for what's going on in the landscape of Ghana. You know, growing up in the UK with our parents, they were very much affiliated with associations. Our father was a founder of he's an Ashanti man, so he was a founder of his own Apostle Association. So we had meetings always held in the house. So we were always close to what was going on in our hometowns, our home villages. Our mum's from Kwul, so we have the Kwul side as well.
Right. Okay, cool people in the house.
Yes.
Hello, wonderful people. Welcome to the Royal Kingdom Estate platform. I always say this, when you see me seated comfortably like this, you know I'm about to delve into some amazing and interesting conversations. And today I'm so stoked because of the guest that I have with me. I know we're going to unearth so many wonderful things, listen to their journey, their transition back to Ghana, and most importantly, the cultural space in Ghana. That is so important to me. I think we're all going to learn a thing or two. So stick with me. My guest today is Anna and Victoria. They are sisters, and Royal Kingdom Estates is forming such a beautiful partnership with them. So let's get right into the video together. Let's welcome them to the platform. Yay!
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Girls, how are
Hello.
you?
Very well, thank you.
You guys look amazing.
Thank you.
I saw you, was it yesterday?
Yes.
Yes, and I'm so glad that we were able to put this together so we can listen to you, because as a brand, it's so important to us to listen to stories, because as human beings, our journeys are our foundation, most importantly. So we like to share, especially with our audience, and then we pick the nitbits from it and then apply to our lives. I know you're sisters, so I'm going to start from Anna. Please tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you for the warm reception here today. My name is Anna Ajikum, one of the co-founders of On Point Property and Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo. I've been working in real estate. This year marks 25 years of me working in the real estate industry, and 10 years obviously since we set up On Point Property and decided to dedicate half of our business to helping the diaspora invest safely in Ghana.
Okay, and Victoria?
Yes, I'm Victoria Ajikum, and I'm one of the co-founders and directors of On Point Property Management Limited and the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo. I've been in property for 17 years. And again, as Anna said, 10 years that we've been running On Point Property.
I see. Now, you guys are Ghanaians, right?
Yes.
Okay, but then you were born and raised in the US or the UK?
UK.
In the UK?
Yes.
Okay, how was life living in the UK?
I mean, I think we had a really comfortable life. We had mum and dad who worked really well, worked really hard to set us up and give us a comfortable upbringing in the UK. But one thing they always done, which we thought was really incredible, they were able to keep the Ghanaian tradition and our heritage alive.
Right.
Not only at home, cooking and attending functions, but we were really blessed and lucky to be able to visit Ghana almost every year since we were born.
Was it like a tradition at some point? You guys were coming back often? to just experience the motherland?
Yeah, I would say summertime, summer holidays, and then a few occasions will come for Christmas, and that will be like big family. We always have a big family gathering. You know, uncles coming from Germany. Everyone will just meet up and then have one big party.
I see.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like you had a very very family-founded childhood.
Yes.
And that is such an important trait, especially for Ghanaians.
Yes.
And living there and then coming back every once often, with time, I mean, you saw progress.
Yes.
Every time you come back, something little has changed in the country. What are some of the differences that you saw, and what are some of the great things that you saw Ghana develop into?
Yeah, I mean, from the early days, as Victoria explained, we came for family. Our parents also built their own. The African dream was to build and have your own home in Ghana. So our parents were able to do that. But as we were coming, when we were younger, it was really just, you know, it was a fun place. We saw family. I would say from my early 20s, we realised there was a nightlife scene. Ghana had incredible clubs, nighttime enjoyment. Friends would come and enjoy the beaches. And it was a place where the second generation Ghanaian diaspora were coming back to literally have a good time. And then that evolved. We could see the country getting more built up with the roads, infrastructure, the food, the sport. There were so many things happening. And then obviously we fast forward, I would say probably the last 10 years, we've got social media.
Yeah, I think social media was a game changer, like immensely. You know, it's just made Africa even closer to home. I think more or less social media has made the world smaller. And the access to knowing what intricate families are doing, what foods and cultures are doing, it has really made such a difference. And especially for what's going on in the landscape of Ghana. You know, growing up in the UK with our parents, they were very much affiliated with associations. Our father was a founder of he's an Ashanti man, so he was a founder of his own Biposu association. So we had meetings always held in our house. So we were always close to what was going on in our hometowns, our home villages. Our mum's from Kwau, so we have the Kwau side as well.
Okay, cool people in the house.
Yes, you know, so we had such a great balancing of knowing where we're from, having the tradition brought to our house. And our dad was one of the elders in also his community, so we had a lot of outdoor knockings coming to the house. Our culture of funerals, our dad was the one who was leading a lot of the ceremonies, etc., and giving guidance. So I would say we were completely blessed to have that opportunity. We have two older brothers, and I'm the youngest. So it was, I would say, it's a beautiful surroundings. And I think at the time growing up, you're young, you don't appreciate so much, but now we are so grateful because that was a foundation to where it has brought us today.
Right. Okay. Now you both have exposure from both Ghana and then the UK. You've been in and out. How different is life in Ghana as compared to that of the UK?
I guess it's the structure. You see more, obviously, in the West, we have more of the structure. We don't have some of the sort of primary issues, sort of electricity outage, transportation.
We just saw that, by the way.
Infrastructure. That, obviously, the weather, climate, and the rich culture. Those are really sort of like the main differences that you see. But now, Ghana, fast forward to 2025, you know, you can have fine dining, world-class eateries, restaurants, developments. Our urban lifestyle's a lot different now. The skyline of Ghana, thanks to companies
Totally
like yourself,
transformed. Yeah.
completely transformed. And you can see the gap is getting smaller. I mean, as soon as you arrive, look at our airport. It's so welcoming, very modern and functional. So it's just the functionality of and structure where if Ghana can just get that bit right, I see no reason why we can't be one of the world-class cities in not only Africa but in the world.
Right, that's amazing. And Victoria?
Yeah, just, dittoing what Anna says, it's transformed so much. I have lived in Ghana before. I came just before the year of return. So I've seen from 2011 to now, even just basic having Wi-Fi has completely, the tech has stepped up a lot more. You're having even food delivered to your house now. Before, they'll be like, oh my goodness, I need to drive into a 2-hour traffic to get to that nice spot of food. Now coming back home, you're going to be home like midnight. But now, things are more accessible to your doors, and tech has definitely played an impact on that.
Yeah. And of course, the West is more developed. And you mentioned that if we do certain things right, we might just be able to bridge that gap. What are some of the little things you think that we can do to, bridge the gap and then get to that standard?
Yeah, I mean, the first one that comes to mind is healthcare. Yeah, it's really a big one. If healthcare could be just functional, more affordable, you would find that even the older generation, it would be an encouragement for more people to be here, their children in school here. I know with the schools, education here is obviously a priority, but finding good high quality schools come with such a high cost, which is unreachable for most. And so it's things like education, health, infrastructure. I think those are the 3 key big ones that would make Ghana really catch up with the West. And obviously, things like you said, like electricity, we call it dumso. It just inhibits us being world class for like manufacturing. Obviously, it just brings down a basic community of electricity in 2025. We shouldn't be haggling for that.
Yes. And I know, Victoria, you're probably going to talk about the road infrastructure, because before the cameras went on, we were just talking about the fact that you guys live at North Legon.
Yes.
And if the road network was just a bit better, life would be more bearable.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's a major selling point for those who want to come back. If you're having kids, taking them to school, you need, they can be starting their day from as early as 4 a.m. getting their children ready to get to school on time, 5 a.m. It really isn't a desirable transition. And, if people can cut down their traveling times, you spend majority of your time, technically like 4 hours a day, traveling to and from work if you're not in central Accra. And that's just unbearable. For children, they're tired. They need to have the good rest. Everyone, family settings, it's not about just coming home, I quickly eat, go to bed, and you're up again like halfway through the night to get ready to go to school. It's tiring, it's not practical. So I think that infrastructure itself really would benefit a lot of people and change people's lives.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You guys have great input. Now, you've talked about, your family, the fact that your father had his own association. So I believe that socializing has been like a big part of your lives. How important do you think networking is, socializing is to improve on a person's life state?
I would say it's imperative. As human beings, we're designed to be amongst other people, but networking from a personal standpoint right through to our business journey has been imperative, because knowing how to talk to different people, walking into different rooms and not feeling uncomfortable, it really is a great skill set. And our parents were able to show us hospitality, how to greet and welcome people. And it's sort of the backbone of our services, of how the end users are always feeling, and that customer and client experience. And networking is something that neither of us should do, especially if you're in business. We find networking has opened more doors for us than even sending emails or going on the phone, meeting people face to face and getting that sort of human touch, that human feel. It really is a game changer.
Right, Victoria?
Yeah, again, it's spot on to what Anna says. Our events, a lot of it is hospitality, making people feel welcomed and feeling relaxed. And that's what we've always seen growing up. Our parents food, drink, making everyone feel welcomed, relaxed within the environment. So it's definitely been a good learning to build our confidence as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Now, I want to hear a bit of the story, some of the fun stuff from your childhood. You guys were at Chimota Girls, was that it?
No.
Well, we used to live.
You used to live in
Yeah.
Chimota.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you school in Ghana before you went to the UK?
No, we actually lived, were born in the UK.
So
We
your
schooled-
educational background is not from Ghana?
Not from Ghana.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
It was fully much in the UK,
Mhm.
but we just had access to Ghana
Ah,
each year
yeah.
via our holidays.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now tell me a little bit about the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo. How did that start? What was the foundation? What was the basis for it? And how has it been the progress up till this date?
No. Well, yeah, the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo came as a call to action. We started On Point Property in 2015, and in 2017 we basically so many people knew in the community that Victoria and I do property, and they used to ask us all the time, we want to go to Ghana and invest in Ghana, how do we do that? And we've heard the tales of our parents, friends in our community, people having unfortunately been robbed, or not their family members, even not good real estate developers. And we just saw it as a call to action, that actually we can solve this problem. So that prompted us to really come to Ghana, input our skill set to hand with a real estate investment, and see how we can bring all the value chain and stakeholders together. And we launched, and it went very, very well. Actually, too well. We were flooded with information, questions.
Oh, that's good.
And we thought, how could we scale this up?
Yeah, and again, using our experience from our property background, being to many events that are in London for just, landlords events, etc. We said, look, we can implement that into the structure and make a professional platform that is safe for people to come in with information, not just sales. So that was one of the key turning points for what we was doing. A platform for education, not just for sale. Like a one-stop shop for everyone to come in.
I see. That's interesting. And when you started, did it like transition from one country to another? Because I know now you have like 3 countries on the bill. How was that, and how did you keep adding and selecting the locations as well?
Yeah, our flagship location is London. We launched in London in 2017, and some of our real estate clients said to us, why don't we look at America?
Okay.
So in 2018, the following year, we launched in Atlanta, Georgia, and that went very, very well. And we continued with the event. Obviously, we had lockdown and various challenges, but we continued doing the event virtually. And then when after lockdown, we thought, let's look back again at the US. So 2023, we attempted to go back, and just challenges with visa, the usual, we couldn't do it. But God being so good, 2024, we were able to do Washington, D.C.
Okay.
We launched our global series, so we done Washington, D.C. And that location, we know that we had the DMV area. We looked at strategically the embassy, Ghana embassy there. We know that the population of Ghanaians and African Americans is quite high. So we said, let's give that location a go, and it went very well. And then we moved to London, our flagship location, in November. And we also done Ghana in 2024. But we actually launched Ghana, we launched Ghana in 2023.
In 2023, okay.
And 2024 was the first year we done the global series,
Okay.
which we're doing again.
Yeah, this
How was
year.
the first expo in Ghana? What was the reception like?
It was actually interesting because it wasn't just the diasporas, there was locals who wanted to understand, all these cranes are going up in their city, what's going on?
Right.
So it was bringing them together to understand what is exploding in terms of the real estate market. It was educating them to understand a new phase, because traditionally in Ghana, you come from a family home and that home is just moved down through generations. So this concept of buying, even hearing about mortgages, they're like, you know, what's that money lending? You know, it's a different concept altogether for them. So it was really educating them in terms of investment, etc. And it's for them to even look into the future of how they want to invest and acquire property.
I see. And I'm sure a lot of this was explained during your expos, but I just want to hear your opinion on it. Basically, you talked about, you know, Ghanaians' way of living. A lot of people grew out up in family homes. You have your little, you know, nice, lovely home with a huge compound. Everybody knows everybody, that kind of lifestyle. But we're getting into a time where there's so much progress. You have to embrace a lot of things like technology, like you said in the beginning. You have all of these sky-high buildings. You have developers buying into neighborhoods, you know, and obviously they would have to make some changes in there. And some people get scared at the end of the day because it's like you have to leave what you know behind and then embrace something completely different. How do you think, especially when it comes, you know, to the real estate market, that some of these things can be enforced without instilling a certain level of fear into the locals?
Definitely, developers and the government needs to work together to incorporate more affordable homes. Obviously in Ghana, they don't have a social welfare system. So, you know, that would be something they could look into in the future for obviously very low income families and, you know, married couples who cannot really reach even the bottom line of the first entry level of buying these properties. But just to incorporate something into that system that would really help to morph both locals and the diaspora, so no one doesn't feel left out.
Yeah, no, I totally echo what Victoria's just said. It needs to be harnessed in a way that the world is moving, Africa's moving forward, Ghana's moving forward, but the indigenous people must be part of that change. So it's really just striking the balance, again, with that private and public partnership, how the government can build and help, give incentives to developers to build affordable housing and keep them also part of the change. I think that would be incredibly helpful. So for the diaspora or the Ghanaians who now want to relocate back home, we can all just be in a harmonious way, not us and them, but just all of us creating a better society.
I think it's very important that you said that, because these are conversations that are not had enough. There was a video that was trending on social media recently where a lady bought huge acres of land, right, and wanted to build a diaspora city. And it caused some level of outrage because I think there's something similar happening in South Africa where people are like, okay, if you don't want to live among us, then why come in the first place? So having that balance, I think is very, very important. And now you are not foreigners here. I would not say that. You're Ghanaians, you've been coming back, so you're very much in touch with your roots, right? And your business, all these expos that you're having, it's to help other people to also find that, to trace their steps back to where they actually belong, where they feel like home, where they have people that are like-minded, look like them, where they can belong and all of that. How important do you think that step is, or that journey is, especially to our diaspora brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I think it's life-changing. We all want to belong somewhere, and I think two things are happening. People are investing because they want to have a footprint back in Ghana. They want to have a belonging that, and those who are non-Ghanaian by parents, they have traced their ancestral roots and realised that Ghana is where they come from, and having a place that they can call home or have an investment. The real estate sector and industry are playing a very pivotal role in this, and us being able to help people realise their dream, realise that they can invest safely, and realise that they can have an investment footprint even though they're not ready to live here yet. I think it's incredible, and we see it as a personal passion and calling for us that everyone should be able to do this. So it's integral, and we thank developers like yourself who have made it viable for us to say there is a recognized and also established Ghana real estate market, and there are credible developers who can make your home a reality, or if you want to buy land, which you guys also do.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
incredible.
That's so important. Yeah.
Really
Thank you.
important. So it's a perfect marriage. So I think we just bridge the gap so there's understanding and signpost people in the right way.
Right. And that brings us to our partnership. I mean, we're looking to sponsor this year's events, which is amazing. I think all of us were collectively looking forward to it. I think it will be wonderful. And yes, tell me a little bit how important it is to have, you know, brands like these sponsor the event, you know, share the developments, everything that you have in the pipeline, and all of the amazing things that we're all collectively doing to develop the country.
I think it brings that key word, transparency. When companies like Royal Kingdom come on board, you're letting the world know, you're letting the attendees know that this is us. This is what we do. They may have seen your videos, but that ultimate guide of being able to meet the team face to face is, I think, it's still incredible. Nothing beats that human touch of people being able to see you, know who you are. We're spreading the good news, but also the fact that Royal Kingdom can be at the Expo, playing an integral role, just shows that we're an established brand. The Expo's been going for 9 years. It's a great resource tool for your audience and even those who attend. And I think it really just signifies an important part that you're saying to everyone that we want to be part of this movement and we're here to help your dreams become a reality.
Yes. Well said, wonderful. And what is this year's theme, and what should attendees expect in general?
I'll say this year's theme is resolving obstacles.
Resolving obstacles.
Yes.
In the real estate market in Ghana. And I'll let Vicky come in, but how will we resolve the obstacles? It's again that trust and that misconception where things go wrong, and how to remedy them and how to prevent them actually happening. So again, we're resolving the obstacles by having reputable developers, and then with our other stakeholders.
Yeah, and then again, your land purchasing options is very, very welcome, and it's exciting because we do our due diligence on companies, and we have faith in the kingdom to come on and sell the lands, because land is a cumbersome area which has been challenging for years, and for someone to feel confident to go and buy a land and build, people still want to do that, and it's a welcome step for us to have you on board.
Yes.
Yeah, and as well as the rest of the value chain with the banks, with the legal side professionals, with our will writers, with our estate planners. I think it all plays a part, having everybody in the room to just bring that comfort and that safe landing, that soft landing. Really investing in Ghana.
I see. That is beautiful. I love that we have this partnership. I hope that it blossoms into a very beautiful long-term relationship. And I would love for you guys to have the opportunity to see our developments as well. I think with time you will. I think you will love them.
Yeah,
absolutely. And that's part of our due diligence, that we come on board, we touch, feel and see, and let our audience know that, look, you've been fully onboarded, and we look forward to having you as part of our 9th-year journey and beyond.
Yes. Okay, that is wonderful. Thank you so much, Anna and Victoria. You guys are wonderful. We've heard so much about your lives, your journey, and we so look forward to this year's edition. I think it's going to be a blast, and then we will all together get beneficial and substantial things from it. So I look forward to it.
Great.
Brilliant.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank
for having
you.
us. Take care.
Okay.
Guys, thank you so much for sticking through this entire conversation with us. I've had so much fun. I believe you had too. If there were specific questions or certain things that you wanted to hear from these beautiful sisters, you can leave it down there in the comment section. You know, we're always reading and giving you feedback accordingly. You can follow us on all our social platforms. Connect with us, hit our DMs, come to us via email, or you can just send us a message on WhatsApp. We will answer it all accordingly. Stay tuned. You know, we'll always come back to give you more thrilling, inspiring stories like this. Peace out.